I previously did a video on the Vanguard, who were reacting to Anna Kasparian, who disagreed with the term birthing people as a substitute for women. Now Anna Kasparian has doubled down, which means the Vanguard had to double down, which in turn means I have to double down. These two guys, sperm ejaculating betas, as they should be called, to be more inclusive, of course, are a great demonstration of how insane the left has become. And it's easy to see why people like Anna Kasparian have to push back against her own side of the political spectrum because of how radical they've become.
Do not like to be bullied or pressured into saying things or believing things that I do not believe. I find that terminology degrading. Okay?
Why?
Because I'm not a birthing person. Okay? I'm a woman.
Oh my God. She said the W word. What a bigot.
This is the thing that annoys me about this entire issue and conversation, because they'll turn around and they'll say, no one's calling you a birthing person. Okay, does someone need to call an individual who finds the N-word offensive the N-word?
Oh, here we go. This is where it always goes, guys. She's gone all the way to there to I saw birthing person on the form, and that is the same thing as a black person being called the N-word.
Right out the gate, the lads have to strawman because their position is completely indefensible. She didn't say the N-word is the same thing as birthing person. She said she doesn't have to be called a birthing person to be offended by it. And she was using a more extreme example to demonstrate that principle. As always, it's extremely difficult to tell if these leftists are being willfully dumb or they just are that dumb.
And taking everything personally for no reason at all. And yeah, it's funny because the whole birthing person thing, like that's already supposed to be the polite way to basically say, do you have a vagina? Because that's what's being asked on these forums, right? And the reason why they have to put it in that term is because it's not just women who have vaginas. Non-binary people have vaginas. Trans men have vaginas. So it's not just women. And that's why they don't just put woman.
Again, this is a made-up issue that they're trying to solve. A solution to this question would be to ask, are you a biological woman? That includes everybody. There's no ambiguity there. It's patently clear what's being asked if it says biological women. And when we're talking about reproductive organs, the assumption should be that we're talking about biological sex. I really don't care if you identify as a wolf when we're talking about your biology. They wouldn't use a term like biological woman, despite how much sense it makes, because they would be triggered. Because this isn't just about wording, it's about ideology. And despite the mansplaining, sperm ejaculator splaining, experts warn that gender-neutral language, like pregnant people or birthing person, may put mothers at risk because it dehumanizes them.
But that's why it's there. And to invoke the fucking N-word is so insane.
Ah, yes. Anna is clearly the insane person in this situation.
Medical form that was come up with 2 or 3 years ago, not to oppress anyone, not to dehumanize anyone, but to be inclusive, but to expand the amount of people that can be comfortable who are using a fucking medical form.
Again, this is complete nonsense. If our goal is to maximize the amount of people who feel comfortable with this kind of language, woman is a safer pick, since there are way more women than trans people. Why don't we have on the form woman, man, and then other with a dotted line so they can fill in whatever the fuck they want? Would that make you happy? No, because they want trans people to be included in the category of woman, even though we're clearly talking about biology in this case. We're not talking about gender, which is how you feel. A doctor doesn't care about your emotions. He cares about your biology.
Say, do you have a vagina?
That question is answered by biological sex. If you are a biological woman, you have a vagina. If you identify as a wolf, I don't know what genitalia you have.
Ironically, Bill Maher complains how the left is oversensitive about words. And here's Anne. Yeah, that is true.
More gaslighting from these lunatics. You're the ones who want to make the changes. We're happy with the status quo. The status quo that just happens to make sense and reflect reality. But hey, if no one's sensitive about words, then why don't we just leave things the way they are? Or we could do it democratically. We could use the terms that the majority of people are comfortable with. Man and woman. But no, they wouldn't be okay with this because they are the sensitive ones who want to change.
And besides which, I was called that, okay? Yes, in a medical setting, but this is a doctor who knows I'm a biological woman. Call me a woman.
How ridiculous of Anna. Imagine a world where a doctor is trying to find out about your biology and asking you if you're a biological woman. That's completely insane.
Why did you feel the need to call me a birthing person? Like, where did that come from? And in California, medical providers are basically like told that there will be penalties if they don't use the proper terminology or if they're caught doing anything discriminatory.
This completely negates the point from these two clowns. It's not the left who's sensitive about words. But yeah, the government should coerce people to use the terms that we want them to use. Accuracy and free speech be damned.
All terminology is not being changed. They love to say this. Oh, I don't think we should change all terminology to account for the 1% of trans people. Guess what? Neither do I, Anna. Neither does like 99% of people.
More gaslighting. As if that isn't the way things are going, especially if people on the right don't protest it. There's already government documents that have used it, politicians that have used it, and apparently doctors in places are being forced to use it. It's not hard to imagine that this could be forced into other places, like the workplace or in educational facilities.
To doing the absolute most to protect Black mothers, to protect Black babies, to protect Black birthing people, and to save lives. Thank you, and I yield back.
Oh, I don't think we should change all terminology to account for the 1% of trans people. Guess what? Neither do I, Anna. Neither does like 99% of people. That's why when you go like to a fucking restaurant and you go to use the bathroom, there's like a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom. It doesn't say a men's bathroom and a birthing person's bathroom.
Not at my bar, brother. It just has the alien and it just says wash your hands.
Okay, well, that's actually the way it should be.
You can't make it up. How stupid can you be? We're not trying to change all the terminology. For example, like when you go to the bathroom, it says man and woman. But yeah, we should probably change that one as well.
With birthing person only in these very specific instances, like on medical forms, when it specifically relates to, yeah, your ability to give birth, your ability to menstruate, these sort of, things which are relevant in a medical setting.
Oh, what's that category that literally includes all of those things that you just mentioned in a medical setting? Oh yeah, it's called biological woman.
And then you started hyperventilating about some shit that was affecting nobody, that was endangering nobody, that in no way negatively affected literally anyone, including yourself. And then you're the one that got upset.
Again, according to this article, that's not what the experts are saying. But they don't really care about women. And besides, again, it's the government coercing this doctor to use specific language at the behest of people like you. If it wasn't for snowflake betas like yourself, no one would be using this language. But the government is forcing them to, because you are the ones that are triggered, clearly.
For 99% of, culture and society, that's how it is. They're not replacing the term women with birthing person only in these.
Yeah, let's pretend these freaks don't exist. And this isn't where this is going. As you've said, it's a minority of people who want to use these terms. Yet, they had the power to sway government, to force doctors to use it. And if they can get that done in a medical setting where it makes the least amount of sense to use it, who knows how much they can achieve if people like us don't protest.